Hi friends, this is Atul Patrikar with Sai Patrikar. Okay, so today, today we are creating one business requirement. So that requirement is like cumulative transaction report using MS SQL. Okay, so I will show you the requirement first. This we got this requirement from the business. So the subject name is transaction report requirement. Hi team, greetings. From the business side, we require transaction report for operational and reconciliation purpose. The report should include the following fields. Okay, so ID, debit amount, credit amount, balance, transaction type, transaction date, rupees in the sense rupees symbol, then type and remarks. And they mention we have attached one sample data sheet. You can refer that. Okay, we can check that data sheet also. Okay, so kindly confirm the feasibility and share the expected delivery timeline. Please let us know if any clarification is needed from our end. If possible, please share report with data as well. Okay. Thank you for your support. Best regard, ABCXYZ multinational of Grameen Bank. Okay. So first of all, they mention here they already sent one attachment. Okay. Okay. So this this is the attachment. So that attachment having these columns. Sorry, ID, debit amount, credit amount, balance, transaction type, transaction date, rupees symbol, transaction type, and remarks. Okay, T type and remarks. Okay. So now you can see the ID is one, the credited amount 67,000. Okay, the balance is 67,000. Okay, so this is the opening balance. That account created, transaction date is 14 Feb 2020, and the T type is credited. Okay, so there is no remarks. Now next day again, Purnima Patrikar. Okay, so on 25 Feb 2020, Purnima Patrikar sent 500 rupees to Atul Patrikar. Okay, so now you can see the opening balance is 67,000. After adding 500, the balance is like 67,500. So like this, we the business required this cumulative transaction report. Okay, so you can see, for example, now here you can see the total in the row number 5. The total balance is like something 5,68,060 rupees something, and after that, that 1,200 rupees is debited from the Atul's account. So now you can see the amount is minus from the balance. Okay, so like this, business required this cumulative reports. Okay, so we can achieve this using MS SQL. Okay, so now I am opening the Microsoft SQL Server. So we have two version of Microsoft SQL Server. You can see the one is Microsoft Visual Studio 20, and one is Microsoft Visual Studio 25 or 22. So you can see here. So for this, we go with the table valued function. So we will handle debit, credit, balance, transaction type, and data wise ordering, just like a bank statement. Okay, so now I'm logging the database. Okay, server name is dot, username, password, trusted certificate name, and this is our SQL Server bottom line color. So here you can choose the color in a new version of SQL Server. Okay, so we already have one banking database, SQL Bank database. Okay, so the first thing, I need to check that all relations table in this SQL Bank database. Okay, so the first table we have customer table. Okay, we have the customer table. The customer table having these columns like customer ID, customer name, customer date of birth, and customer email and mobile number. Okay, so now next table is account table. Okay, select star from TBL account. Okay, so you can see in TBL account, the column is like this: ICID, account number, account type, account balance, and customer ID. Okay, so you can see the customer table. Customer is our master table, and table account is our child table. So the relation between is we can use the customer table customer ID equal to account table customer ID. So from here we can get the balance, that opening balance things. Okay, so now we have one more table. Select star from TBL underscore transaction. Okay, so now you can see we have one more table, TBL underscore transaction. Okay, so in transaction table you can see we have transaction ID, transaction type, amount, transaction date, and account ID. Okay, so in this case, for transaction table, the master table is account table. Okay, and the requirement is like that business is going to fetch this cumulative report based on customer ID. For example, the customer ID equal to 2. Okay, so when they pass the parameter customer ID, then they required this type of report, cumulative report. Okay, so now the first thing, I am going to create one function. Okay, so that function we can use anywhere in the store procedure, and anywhere we can use. So for that I'm going to use this table valued function. Create function dbo dot, so the default schema we are passing, dbo dot get customer get transaction by CID. Okay, so the parameter is like we are passing the customer ID. Okay, customer ID, data type is detail. Now here we are returning the all tables. Okay, so that's reason I am creating here one return type table. Okay, table transaction, and in this table transaction we required some fields, columns. Okay, transaction table. Now ID, ID, then credit amount. Okay, so they already provided this field, so we can directly copy from here. Okay, so ID we already added. Okay, debit amount, the data type is money. For credit amount, the data type is money. Okay, for balance, the data type is money or decimal. Two decimal places we are using, in decimal 18.18 comma 2. Then transaction type is varchar 50. Okay, transaction date is time rupees, that we are using the rupees symbol. Okay, rupees, then transaction TT type, where care 500, not 500 actually, 50, and remarks. Remarks, where care as begin, declare. So here we are getting the temp account ID. So for that I am declaring one local variable, temp ID begin. Okay, then I am setting the values, like I am assigning value to this, select top one from bl underscore cust c, join bl underscore account a on c dot cid equal to a dot cid. So then if that account is available in the account table, then we'll get the account ID. Okay, temp account ID. Now I am going to execute this first. Okay, account ID, and where c dot cid equal to 2. Okay, okay, so you can see we got the account ID. Okay. Now we use this parameter here. Now the next step is we need to declare one table variable, so that we can doing some calculation, uh, like we are use the subtraction calculation for credit minus debit and the balance account, the total balance account. For that I am creating one more table variable, tbl trend table. Okay, and again we require this all fields. Okay, so I'm directly copy and paste that field from here to the declare table variable. Okay, so the now next thing is we are inserting the data, we are inserting data to this tbl transaction table, means that variable table in this table. Okay, tbl transaction, insert into @tbl trend, and the column name is id, credit amount, debit amount, tr type, transaction type, transaction date, account id, balance, tt type, customer name. Okay, customer name and ac number. Okay, ac number and address. The requirement is like they need only these fields, okay, but I'm adding the additional column as well. If they required, they can use. If not required, they excluding from that select statement. Okay. Email, AC opening date, remarks, and is mail set. Now we join here two tables. The one is transaction and one is the account table. So we can join those tables. Okay. Select star from TBL transaction T or join TBL account. Okay. TBL account on er dot account ID equal to acc dot account ID. We need a customer table as well because business passing that customer ID to fetching the cumulative reports, transaction report. Okay. So for that reason, we need include the customer table also. Join BL underscore customer. So I am adding the table hint. Okay. So we adding this table hint for execute the for getting the data faster. But I'm suggest not to use this in the production. Okay. So for testing purpose, I have included this table hint. But for production, please do not use this because the other user is trying to update the balance in that account. So on that time that data is not committed, so that data is also we are getting in this report, so that calculation is not matching. Okay. So reconciliation is failing due to this. So I'm suggesting please do not use this with no lock table hint in production. Okay. So I'm also not using it. Okay. Then it's good. Okay. So customer dot customer id equal to acc dot customer id, where account dot customer id equal to @cid. Now we use some case statement here because we need to pass the value in credit amount, debit amount, and balance column. Okay. So for that I am adding a case statement here. So the first column I'm going to use that transaction id. Okay. tr dot tr id. So our this transaction id data will be inserted into this id column. Okay. Transaction id, then case when tr dot tr type. Okay. trcr dr type equal to cr. Okay. If that transaction type is credited, then the data insert into that data inserted into the credit amount like this. Okay. Credit amount is 0. Okay. If that tr crdr type is debited, then on that time that zero amount inserted into this credited amount column. And so I'm going to pass alias credit amount. Okay, case when tr dot case when tr dot trdr equal to dr, then tr dot tr amount, tr dot tr amount is 0 and debit amount, debit. Okay, so next column is next tr dot tr type, tr dot tr date, tr dot account id. Okay, so now we need to calculate that balance as well. Okay, credit amount minus debit amount, we need to calculate the total balance as well. Okay, so case when transaction tr dot trcr type, crdr type equal to cr cr, then tr dot tr amount is 0 and okay, so you can see we are subtracted amount from credit amount minus debit amount. Okay, minus is when tr dot tr type equal to dr, then tr dot tr amount is 0 and is 0 and that alias name is balance. Alias name is balance. The next is tr dot crdr type, then c dot c name, acc dot ac number. Okay, then c dot c address, then c dot c mobile, c dot c email, and acc dot date, account opening date, tr dot remarks, and tr dot is mail sent or not, is mail sent. Okay, from transaction table joining with account table, and account table join with customer table. Okay, so now this part is complete. So now again we need to group by the fields, group by the id credit debit amount fields, and based on that we need to calculate the cumulative account, like for example like this. Okay, so credited amount 67,000, balance is 67,000, credited amount 500, the balance is 67,500, like this. Okay, we need to we need to calculate this cumulative. Okay, so for that I'm going to use the common table expression. Okay, with that common table expression name is PBL CTE trend. As in this bracket, select star from PBL trend. So I'm going to use this table, declare value table. Okay, T1, and I'm self drawing this table. Okay, again table T1, table T2, T2 on T1 dot id is less than equal to T2 dot id. So it will take the previous column balance value. Okay, so it will take the previous row values and calculate the cumulative amount. So take the previous column values, like for example it's take 67,000, then 400. Okay, so it's just adding the value into 67,000 plus 500, and the balance is 67,500, like this all. Okay, so now here we need to use the grouping also. Okay, so first of all I'm adding the where clause, where t2 dot account id equal to temp account id. Okay, so this we already declared this local variable account id. Now here we need a required column only, so I'm adding the required column here. T1 dot id, T2 dot credit amount, T2 dot debit amount. Then I am using the sum function, sum T1 dot T1 dot credit amount minus T1 dot debit amount. And the column name is balance. Here is the balance. T2 dot tr type, T2 dot transaction date, T2 dot ACID, T2 dot TT type, T2 dot custom name. Okay, T2 dot ACID, sorry, not ACID, we already added the ACID here. AC number. Okay, account number, T2 dot address, T2 dot mobile, T2 dot email, T2 dot AC opening date, account opening date, and T2 dot remarks, T2 dot is email sent. Okay, email sent. So in this common table expression CTA, we use some uh, function, some function. So for that, this, as per the SQL rule, we need to include the columns, required columns, in the group by clause. Okay, So for this I am adding that fields here, t2 dot id, t2 dot credited amount, t2 dot debited amount, t2 dot tr type, t2 dot t2 dot transaction date, t2 dot acid, t2 dot tt type, t2 dot custom name, t2 dot acid, no sorry, acid we already did, number, t2 dot address, t2 dot mobile, t2 dot email, t2 dot opening date, t2 dot remarks, t2 dot sorry, is email sent, and bracket close. Okay, so we already close the bracket. The now final step is, now we need to insert the data into our main function table. Okay, so in this table you can see we created this table. I'm copying this table name and then adding the insert logic. Now insert into table name, in the bracket we need id, we need credit amount, we need debit amount, type, and date, acid, balance, tt type, customer name, ac number, address, mobile, email, ac opening date, remarks, emails. Okay. Now going to insert the data from this common table expression table. Okay, from TBL CT transaction. From so I'm copying the same column name because we use the same column name for all tables, for all, for common table expression also, and for that local dictionary table also. Okay, now here I'm passing one filter, account id equal to temp acid, we are return that whole table. Okay, so now you can see, you can click here to validate. Okay, now here you can see we are getting some error. Okay, so error is like expression context previous must be terminated with semicolon. Okay, so we need to use the semicolon here because that common table expression start with the semicolon. Now again I'm click here, so you can see the command completed successfully. Okay, so now in this case our, so in this case our SQL logic and SQL code is working fine. Now I am going to execute this function. Okay, so you can see column TBL tran is invalid, select list because it is aggregate function. Okay, so now you can see we have added the group by clause for this. Okay, we have added the group by clause here. I will show you that in this section. Here we use the group by clause. So now we need to check where we are included that column name or not. So we need to include that column as well. So what is column name is trtbl trend. Okay. e1 dot id. Okay, now you can see we have created that. Oh, sorry, we don't need this tr1 actually. We need only t2. Okay. Now I'm again executing this. So you can see function transaction by customer id altered by Atul and Sai Patrikar 8777. Now here I'm going to execute that function. Okay, select star from dot function in bracket customer id. Okay, so we need required column only. So I'm going to add the required columns. ID, debit amount, credit amount, balance, year type, transaction date, rupees symbol, transaction type, and remarks. Okay, I'm just moving this column here, removing the extra column. Okay, invalid column name. Okay, I think we don't. I think we already added that rupees column in this. Okay, we don't have any rupees column. 8477 or some 8483 something. Okay, I need to check. 8377 is for. Okay, so now you can see, so we are getting the actual data like that sample excel sheet. So you can, so we just validate the data for 2 or 3 rows. So credited amount is 67,000. Okay, opening balance. Now we can check here. Okay, 67,000 opening balance. Now 500 rupees is credited. Okay, so next is 500 rupees is credited and it's included into the main balance 67,500. Now again 560 rupees is credited. The balance is 68,060 rupees. Okay, so now you can see, so we have completed the requirement. Okay, so now we just respond to that email. So like we already implement these changes and we will share this script with you, so you can easily use this script in your Power BI report or your SSRS report. Okay, so they can use this uh, function anywhere in that report. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Please keep watching this video and share and do subscribe. Thank you.